Kia ora, good evening. Russia has widened its offensive in Ukraine, attacking cities in the centre and the west of the country for the first time. It could indicate a new direction of where this war is heading. Lutsk, Ivano-Frankivsk and Dnipro were all targeted with apartment blocks, factories and even kindergartens destroyed. It's left many more civilians killed and wounded. But despite the war's escalation, it is not going well for Vladimir Putin. His forces have yet to take the prize capital, Kiev, and another of his generals was killed overnight, the third high-ranking Russian commander to have lost his life in the two-week-old campaign. Russia today even claimed the US and Ukraine are developing illegal chemical weapons for use against its forces. Lisette Raymer is on the border in Poland, and a warning her report contains some confronting images of war.
Every day, every hour, the surviving safe places of Ukraine are being shattered by shrapnel. The war has hit the West. This in the historical city of Lutsk, just an hour from Poland. And here, in Ivano-Frankivsk, airstrikes edge ever closer to the border of the European Union. In Dnipro, the country's fourth biggest city, this shoe factory was reduced to rubble by a missile strike. The front line of terror expanded overnight. This couple has now joined the 2.5 million Ukrainians who have fled their homes for safety, their return date unknown.
I beg you to tell the world about another act of state terrorism. It's not just a war. It's state-sponsored terrorism by a powerful country against us.
Like so many around the country, the lives of those who live in Dnipro are now ruled by the sound of sirens, the warning of another attack sending them underground, where they shelter and shudder at the conflict they are now so suddenly a part of. This man was injured by flying glass when the bomb hit. His wife doesn't know what they'll do next. But despite the expansion of fighting into the west of Ukraine, the Western allies are maintaining their distance from it all.
The idea that we're going to send in offensive equipment and have planes and tanks and trains going in with American pilots and American crews, just understand, and don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say, that's called World War III.
So the Ukrainians continue their solo fight back as the Russians continue their brutal advance towards the capital of Kiev. Any villages they come across on their journey are left destroyed and disregarded, collateral damage in the battle for the crown jewel of the country. Ukrainian soldiers are defending Kiev against all odds as the fighting grows fiercer and draws ever closer. Here they engage in a gun battle to hold off advancing Russian forces. The firepower so constant, so unrelenting, as is their resolve to safeguard their country's independence.
Well, Lisette joins us now from Medyka on the Polish-Ukrainian border. And Lisette, the Russians have now accused the West of using or planning to use chemical weapons.
That's right. Russia today used a meeting of the United Nations Security Council to air and amplify unsubstantiated claims that the US has 30 secret laboratories in Ukraine where they are conducting dangerous biological experiments with the aim of then releasing a lethal disease on the population. Now, both the US and Ukraine have vehemently denied these allegations. They were quickly criticised by other countries that were at that meeting, labelled wild conspiracy theories and utter nonsense. But that does not mean they are not deeply concerning. The West now fears that this is yet another false flag operation where really Russia is the country who is intending to use chemical weapons on the Ukrainian people and would then try and blame it on the West. So the war in Ukraine certainly escalating every day. The war of information and words outside of the country also ramping up.
Yeah, such a worrying sign. Lisette, thanks very much.